Hey guys, it's Deanna from Gardens Glory, Zone 6A. Today we're going to start in a different spot. I don't think I've shown you this, that we did get new furniture up here, and my husband picked these out, and maybe I did show you that once. I'm not sure. But anyway, I wanted to start up here because I wanted to show you a couple of things that I normally forget. So look at this pot right here. This is actually it's called Cibella Carmine Silene, I think. Might have those out of order, but that's the 3 words. So it's a pink and a white, and it blooms like crazy. And look how nice and full that is for that pot. I grew it from seed. It's not something that I don't think you'll see at a garden center. And I definitely think it's worth it. Now, the only thing that kind of stinks about it is does not really like hot weather. And so I think it would be doing much better if it were cooler. You guys, we have been in the 90s with 100% humidity sometimes. And which cracks me up because I listen, to people like Laura, and I know they don't get much out there, and she'll be like, you guys, it's 20% humidity. And I'm like, what? That's nothing. So anyway, it's been super hot. So I feel like I've been doing a lot of tours, not a lot of projects, but that's just because I literally, like right now, it's only 7 and I just got to get out here early because it's so hot. So I want to show you this little corner. This is my first time I've tried this, and it's not done or anything, but what I'm trying to do is a tropical corner. So I'm gonna elevate these things. I'm gonna pot that in there instead of having it just sit like that, put a trellis in it. So I'm gonna try to make this little corner tropical and pretty. So I'll have to keep you posted on that. This thing right here, which has got a little browning right there, but if you look at this one, it's better. Look at that. My husband finally drilled the holes to get that to be able to sit in that pot. But look at that. It's almost, look how tall it is. It's almost to the top. And this thing is a snapdragon vine, and it will just be covered in, I think, purple snapdragon looking blooms, which I think is going to be so cool. So I don't normally focus on that. And this is my one area that, I mean, it doesn't look horrible from up here. It doesn't look horrible, but it's just kind of my spot because I use it for annuals, cut flowers. When like the poppies were in there, it looked really nice. And now that I pulled the poppies, it's kind of like starting over. So look though at my top. I grew that dichondra myself, and I said one time it was dichondra silver falls. That wouldn't be true because that's a proven winners thing and you can't grow that from seed, but it is a dichondra, and look at how pretty that is. So the idea is to give you blue water that drains into here, but what happened was I have the blue in here, but I was running out of space for my dahlias, so I just put some in the bottom of here. So at least when they get taller, they'll still bloom and look pretty. My little flower basket over here is looking really nice. So you can see I have put some things in there that are blooming, but I have more things right here that could still go in there. This is my very last little stash of plants that I grew. So I'm getting there. But anyway, if we look back, I mean, like I said, it's not terrible, but there's definitely some bare spots, and I'm going to fill it in with these. And I think that will eventually look good again. All right, so let's go around the corner here. I think what we'll do is go ahead and go up to the front bed and start up there. Let's look over the garden gate the opposite direction. Look at that. Look at the Annabelle in the back. That looks so pretty. And then the soapwort are the ones that are in the front. All right, so let's go up front. Okay, so we're at the front bed here. And you can see the phlox are just starting to bloom. And honestly, I was really, really excited to do this tour with you guys because things are just, I mean, just getting better and better, and I'm really pleased. Boy, there's a lot of weeds in that grass. I have to work on that. But anyway, these are my gomphrena that I grew from seed. And they are going to look so pretty with all this blooming at the same time. I've got geraniums that I grew from seed, gomphrena that I grew from seed. I think this is just going to be a beautiful bed, especially when this phlox gets going. I did buy a fungicide to put on there. I don't know if you're supposed to say it fungicide or fungicide, but anyway, I did buy that. I did actually get all my iron done this weekend for things that are looking chlorotic, which just means the veining on the leaf is showing green and the rest of the leaf is yellow. And my hydrangeas, some of them were doing that. My maple does that in the front, so I did get that treated. I will link that in the description. Apparently, chlorosis can actually cause a tree to die over time. We did cut back the, I believe that's probably Walker's Low catmint, so that should get another flush. My husband's always happy when I cut that back because that makes the bees go away. And then look at this. I just cannot get over how much better this is doing than when I put my own in there. I mean, these are proven winners, bubblegum and silver. I'll put it on the screen. But anyway, this is just looking amazing. And look how good. I broke this up into 4, and look how good these are doing already. And soon we will have Pinky Winky in full glory. But these Helen von Stein lamb's ear, when I go around the corner, I cannot wait for you to see. They almost look AI. My grass is doing what it does, which is coming all the way out into here. The stepping stones look very odd in the winter. They look like they're way out, but as you can see now, that's why you have to do that. And look, and let's come around and look at the view. Wow, the sun just kind of peeked out and it changed the color. Look how pretty that is. And look at these Helen von Stein lamb's ear. Those are only 1 year old. Amazing. Look at these guys close up. Oh, so pretty. And then I do have a, this is a perennial hibiscus, and they always told me that they should start to come up like at the beginning of July, but look, they're up and they're like setting blooms. I love this one because it's got the darker colored leaves. I think that's so pretty. One thing I've been kind of disappointed in, let me show you, are these right here. I think it's called Stormburst or Storm Cloud Verbena. And it just has not done much. And I don't even know if those are like new blooms forming, if those are the old ones that have already dropped. But it just, if you look down here, there's one in between every, not doing anything. So I don't know if I'm gonna do that again. This thing right here is that soapwort that I've told you my mom got me from Tennessee and spreads like wildfire. And another thing I might change is I'm not really loving this. This is an orange rocket barberry. It's just not had the color that I was hoping for. It's not really growing very much and it just kind of looks wild. I'm thinking I could do something better right there. And then look at my other perennial hibiscus. Now this one has been in the ground 3 years versus that one over there has been in the ground 1 year. The Jackmani is starting to slow down. And then look at this, you guys. I realized that other clematis is now starting to go. So the other one that was on there was a Nellie Moser. I'm not sure which one this is, but I'm actually getting 2 clematis shows, which is super cool. And since both of those are very new, I would think eventually this is just going to get better and better. There's that. So poured up close, very pretty. It's more pink in the sun and whiter in the shade. And not too much going on over there. I'm loving this little area. Love it. Okay, so the petunias in the pots are the ones that I grew myself. I added these two dianthus in the last year. This one I just got right here. It's called Fruit Punch Sweetie Pie. Really loving that. The Mahogany Splendor, I took the chance and decided to take the top off, hoping that that will cause it to branch out and look more like a Japanese maple. My beautiful sign. Okay, so let's take our peek over the garden gate. Look at that pot on the left shining. Is that not so beautiful? And everything, I love how there's just color every bit of the way, and then you get the whites in the leaf, you get the green, you get some blue leaf color, some red. The poor trellis or arbor is just a disaster. We cannot get that thing to stay straight. I got some plants on the left that I still got to get in, but other than that, so pleased with how this is looking. Look at this too. I've been treating this lilac, you know, for like 3 years, and this is the best it's looked in a long time, which is making me think I'll treat it in the spring and maybe keep it. This guy, huge. That's a royal purple smokebush. That's why I love them, because they get big so fast. Let's look at this container down here that I did. That's one of my coleus from seeds. And then I'm loving these two hostas together. I'll put it on the screen what the one is on the right, and I don't know about the left. All right, let's look down this way again. Wow. Really pleased with this. I feel like I'm, you know, tooting my own horn, but let me tell you guys, I've been doing this garden now for 25 years. So I would say, you know, it's about time it would be getting to a place where I'm really pleased with it, right? I mean, some people, they put up this garden, like Holly, she puts up her garden in like 5 years and it looks like this. So anyway, I'm not comparing myself. I'm happy. But wow, has really, really gotten it to be where I want it to be. Could not wait to share this with you. And there's really one more thing that's going to open, and when that opens, this garden is just going to be beyond. But let me zoom you back this way. Tell you what we got here. So we got I believe it's either redhead or ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous coleus. We got one that brings in both colors together on the right, and then we got the lime one, which is wasabi. Then look, I am loving how I got the layers really done right with this by having the baby Joe pie in the back, and look how tall it's getting. I'm so excited. I'm hoping, this is only its second year in the ground. I'm hoping that next year it will just kind of top off at the top of the fence right there. But when this blooms, it's going to be beautiful. But I love how then you get the step down and the snapdragons, which I did from my own seed. And then you get the step down and you have the two geraniums I did from seed. The raspberry cream gomfrino, which I did from seed, which is not blooming yet. This beautiful blue bush, I'm going to move up for next year so that it will be more here. And that way it won't be getting so covered by this guy. But anyway, I also did a Super Bina whiteout, and I did just a 6-pack of the pink. I think they're called Punch something. But anyway, then I have a pot in here. Now the Super Bina in the pot has been doing better than it's been doing in the ground. Now maybe it just got eaten by a rabbit. I don't know. But one thing I want to point out is these, which I should have deadheaded this, but these are proven winners, petunias, but they are called Giant Pink. And I'm really, you know, my friend at the garden center, she's like, I don't know why nobody talks about those, but I do like them. They do give quite a big pop. Now I did go ahead and trim back this catmint that was right there so that my phlox that's right there would be visible and not completely covered. The blue ageratum is doing amazing. I bought this one at the garden center, not sure what the, oh, they have a tag. It's a Torchlight. So if you don't know this, the Color Blaze series allows you to use it in shade or sun. Okay, so this down here is looking a little better because I cut back all of the blue flowering spiderwort. And so this doesn't look quite as messy. What I was really hoping though is that you guys would be able to see, and maybe what I'll do is get a good shot of it, and in the process of the time that I'm spending editing, maybe I'll be able to put a picture of what these look like when they're open. They're peach and they're absolutely huge daylilies. Now I do want to say this verbena, which is violet ice, is doing amazing. Like everywhere that I have it, it's doing amazing. So that one I really like. Man, it's getting hot, you guys. Okay, so another pairing of the same coleus. And then I did add a hosta back there that's supposed to get really big and blue. So I think that will be really pretty. But this is what I was talking about when this finally blooms, which will probably be in a couple more weeks. This garden is just going to be lit up. I cannot wait to show you guys because I've been moving these black-eyed Susans around to have like the perfect placement of yellow. So I'm really excited about it. We do still have the blue going. They don't look blue on the camera, but they are. The blue going in the spiderwort. All that back there will be black-eyed Susans. Now here is an example of a chlorotic plant. That is my hydrangea Forever Pink. I did put the EDDHA on it yesterday. And like I said, I will have that in my link so that you can buy that and support my channel if you'd like. And I do get a small little fee, but it does not make your price any larger. Okay, so let's keep going. Look at these pots right here with just little 6-packs. I mean, what an impact, right? This is on its last leg. All right, I do need to make that pot back there level. I know that. Now, look at this. This is so cool. I didn't do this on purpose, but look how this is turning out right there. I did not put those echinacea right there. And even though they kind of block what's behind there, I kind of like that height just kind of popping up right there and kind of makes you feel like you got to go through here to kind of get to the back to see stuff. I'm loving all the different colors. And if we go this way, look at this. This echinacea is happy. Look at all the bloom. Now here's the thing about this one. It's going to have to get moved. I'm going to move it after it gets done blooming because it is right on top of my golden smokebush. And so I can't have that. But I could not take this out before it's in full bloom. And I would say in a couple weeks when we do tour again, it's going to be outstanding. Something is happening. I don't know what. To my little 20 rose snapdragons down there. I don't know if it's they don't like how much I'm watering. But anyway, something is going on there. My white petunias are starting to look a little scraggly, but from afar they look good. And guys, look what happened. Well, here and almost there. Forgot to mention this. This is a vanilla strawberry hydrangea, and look, it's almost hitting the fence. And look at this one. It's above the fence. Yay, it happened. So again, I'm going to take out these guys that are in front of it so that you'll just have a patch like right here, but not in front of this, so that this thing can grow, have air. But again, I just want to wait until we get the blooms on these, and then we will do that in the fall so that this has proper air and ability to grow like it should. Look at this little area right here, this little pocket. So it's got the, I think this is Kismet pink or red maybe. And then look at the snapdragons. Those are from my own seed again. And the 20 rows I grew. The hydrangeas I grew. I think this is one that's called silver something, I'll tell you. And then look at this. This is my, Houston, we have a problem. What is this? Oh no. Oh no, look at that. This is not happening. You are going bye-bye. Okay, glad I found this. But look at the blooms on here. So this is the lavender chiffon Rose of Sharon. So I'm excited about that. I will be picking those guys off there real quick like. And we also have a cute little coneflower down here. And a cute little coneflower right in front of all these black-eyed Susans. And again, like this guy right here will get taken out so that this gives this more room. My hearing aids are hooked up to my phone, so I can hear my daughter is probably calling me right now. All right, so, oh, one thing here, look at this. This is a balloon flower. Isn't that pretty? That's the second time I've had it, and it actually made it this time. And then look, this is that peach daylily, but it's not nearly as big as the ones that are in the sun. This little area, I'm still just not all that happy with. I need more height, so which I've been putting the things in place for it. So I'm working on it, but still just not my, if I stand back and look at it, not really my favorite area. I think I'm going to take another one of these, put it over there, and then like I told you before, the little let's see, what's it called? The bottle brush buckeye should take up that entire part back there eventually. So I don't know how fast those grow. Now, I am very proud though of this. Isn't this pretty? It is very pretty. So I have the blooms from the old style lamb's ear. I have blooms from a Stacky's, I think it's called Humalo. I got all these blooms. Oh, good. There's a lily right there. I got blooms off this soapwort. This is still not as big as the other one gets, but look how pretty that is. And then I've been putting in, like I said, I've been putting the black-eyed Susan in so that they're evenly spaced around the garden. And this beauty is a purple loosestrife. And I have some salvia, which I don't really do a lot of perennial salvia, but I couldn't resist this one because it's blue. I also have this here, which is a midnight Caryopteris, midnight blue Caryopteris. Look at that! That is adorable. That's a little coneflower, like a double coneflower. How cute is that? It doesn't even look real. And then this is my stick I planted, which is not, I don't think, blooming yet, but this one is supposed to be the blue chiffon. And then this is my mother-in-law's coneflower. So we're going to go back this way. So the veggie garden is looking very wild. I did water because of the fact that I have had so much trouble with this rose. I watered it with soap water since that seemed to work so well on other things. So I'm hoping that that will get whatever's eating it and it will snap out of it. All right, look at this. Oh, love the colors. Okay, so now I just kind of wanted to have you see the front from the road. And I always love that view when I'm coming down the street, all the different color. So one thing I wanted to point out is these little 6-pack guys of the Impatiens are not doing nearly as well as the ones in the back, and I believe that's because I sprayed Repels-All on them, and even though it's kept the bunnies from eating them, they're kind of like curled and not very happy. All right, you can see my color going up here, my color scheme. I love the pink and the blue together, and yes, those are still little pansies, but keeping them watered, they don't look great, but since they're in the shade and I'm watering them pretty much every day, they're holding on and give me some color so that when you look across here, you still see pink and blue. My hydrangeas are looking great. I just planted these last year, so I'll have to put the name in the bottom because I just keep getting them confused. These were coleus that were buggy and in the basement that are popping back, as are those ones that are up there, and I will repot those and put them somewhere soon. Other hydrangea looking beautiful. So this one and that one are the same. And then back there, I think is a firelight tidbit, but I'm not sure yet. But anyway, I do notice the one that's getting more sun is getting blooms and is way bigger than the one that is back there and not getting hardly any sun. So I may have to move that, maybe put another Sun King Aurelia or something in there. Okay, so as we go this way, you can see all the different colors. I love the 3 of this right here, the 3 colors, but I know I need to separate those. Very beautiful. And then you can't beat these 2 hostas. They're huge. Oh, Sum and Substance, that's the front one. And I think the back one is Humpback Whale. I just cut back this vine, so this thing was looking pretty sad, but it should start getting some sun now. So here's what I tried to do, which is not working out as well as I would have liked. But I'm trying to, sorry, there was someone going very slow. I'm trying to train up this Sweet Autumn Clematis to meet in the middle, because my husband didn't take the lights down, so I'm like, I'll just use that. So I got him to go up the light, really cool, and I wanted him to go this way and that way, but I tried tucking them up there and it looks like I broke some of the stems. They're not looking very happy. So we'll see if it works or not, but if it does, I think it could be really, really amazing. And wouldn't it be really cool if that was all white flowers and then I can turn the lights on? Ooh, that would be nice. All right, let's look back this way. Love, love, love this view, except for the hose. And and this view. And you know, it's all just real life here, real life. Loving the views. Okay, one more thing to show you guys. I believe this one right here is stained glass, and look, it's reverting back. So I'm gonna have to dig the green one out to get it to not be reverting back. Let's give you a long view this way. All right, and then one more thing, my favorite pots this year. I'm watering as soon as I get done with this, just so you know. That's why the hoses are a mess and out. But look at these 2 pots, you guys. Is that not gorgeous? So it's got that giant pink, Supertunia, I believe it's a Supertunia. Then you've got the Diamond Frost Euphorbia. You've got the, I think it's Sweetheart Caroline Sweet Potato. You've got the Violet Ice Superbena, and one of my coleus in the back. And look at that all together. And that is what you see, let me back up, when you enter this. And I know I still need to paint the front one white, But look at this. This is the best Superbena in my opinion. It has just never lulled and it looks amazing. All right, so I'm gonna give you, ooh, you can even see stuff over the garden gate. Look at that. Ah, I love it. All right, you guys, thank you so much for coming along with me and checking out how things are coming. And I really think you give it 2 more weeks and I think it's just gonna be fantabulous. Thanks for coming and see you in the next one. Bye for now. Okay, shoot, here's a PS. I tied up all of my dahlias, pretty proud of that, so that this year I am not going to have one flopping over. And then look, I made these little trellises, I guess you could call them, maybe, tied them up. And I want to show you this. Dun, da, da. We have blooms. So things are going to be blooming soon. Okay, this whole idea hasn't worked out that great, but we'll talk about that another day. But I want to show you one more thing. Look at my lisianthus. I've never grown this in my life. And look. Ah, it's going to bloom. And I'm just hoping that these bloom for my daughter's wedding. And if we are able and feel like it, we will put them in the truck and bring her some pretty flowers. All right, now that's the end. Bye-bye.